Good day, all you good fellas on the internet. Today, the topic of our discussion episode will be to share with you guys, especially the newbies out there, what are some of the common terminologies that mentioned in the cryptosphere. All right. But before we begin, just a disclaimer: I am in no way any form of financial advisor. All the information shared here are for entertainment purposes only. All right. And if you wish to engage in your own investments and trading, please do your own due diligence and research. All right. And should any one of you be keen to actually trade or invest in cryptocurrencies, I have included a link below for a few recommendations on hardware wallets whereby you can keep the cryptocurrencies that you have purchased in a safe, secure, and offline manner so that you will not be susceptible to any hacks and stealing from any online thieves. All right. So any questions, you can feel free to comment in the comment section below, and the links are all shared in the comment sections below. So feel free. All right. So let's dive into today's discussion. So over here we have a list. Okay, there are many terms that are commonly used by the investors and the fintech companies, as well as ICOs, as well as various cryptosphere, uh, various YouTubers, and some of these terms are actually popping up more often than not, and it is pretty interesting and also mind-boggling at times if you are a newbie in this area. So today, wanted to share with you some of these interesting terms. Which are useful and I found useful for myself when I first foray into the area of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So let's dive in and take a look. Now, one very common term that you might hear, especially when you start investing, is the address. Okay, what does address mean? So, address is actually a your personal, tag. It's just like an email, but it's your address to your so-called cryptocurrency bank, and this address will include a whole series of gibberish letters and numbers. Okay, so the address points to your personal account whereby you keep your digital currency. Now, next, we also hear often, right, the word altcoin. What's altcoin? Altcoin is in short, a short term for alternative coin, which is what they mean is Bitcoin is the main thing. All right, anything else other than Bitcoin is considered an altcoin. Okay, so altcoins are referring to the thousands of various cryptocurrencies out there. All right, and the next term, okay, arbitrage. What's arbitrage? Now, arbitrage is actually a financial term which people frequently refer to in the financial industry. But in crypto, the arbitrage actually refers to taking advantage of a difference in pricing between two exchanges. So let's take, for instance, if you were to buy your Bitcoin from Kraken, and then you see that at the same time, Bitstamp is actually selling it at a higher price than currently. So you would quickly switch and buy on one exchange and then sell on another exchange where you get a better price and make the difference as your profit. Okay, so arbitrage refers to the difference in pricing where you can earn a profit. Now, ATH actually is a common term that frequent day traders are using. So all-time high is ATH, all-time high. So when they refer to all-time high, usually it's a period of euphoria, and then the prices are hitting skyrocketing high prices. So all-time high ATH, that's what it refers to. And next we go to this very common term in the investment arena, which is bearish or bear. When you hear the word bear, it refers to a down market. Okay, so bearish market is a down market in short. Okay, And you hear this term called blocks. What's blocks? So blocks are actually what digital currencies make use of. Okay, blocks are containing transactions which has to be confirmed and combined together. That's therefore the name blockchain. So blockchain actually and blocks are referring to the similar concept of the data of the transactions. They have to be confirmed and linked together. Once they are linked together, the blocks that contain the verified transactions form part of a distributed ledger system that is connected within the blockchain itself. So, blockchain typically is a very blanket term used nowadays because there's so many different systems out there. But distributed ledger is basically a link between all these separate blocks, okay, so to speak. And next, we cover a term, okay, which is the opposite of a bear or bearish. This is called the bull or bullish market. When a trader or market is in a bullish condition, it refers to the uptrend going up. Yeah. So to reiterate the difference, a bear or bearish market is a downtrend going down. The prices are going dropping, and then a bull or bullish market is going up. Okay, so that's the two commonly used term. Now the next term, it's actually called consensus. So consensus in English, like we have a consensus means we have the agreement. So in a area of cryptocurrency, consensus typically talk about a network of digital currencies that reach consensus. And when they do, the network's nodes, which are individual stations in the network, right? Like, let's say the blockchain of a Bitcoin network. Okay, the nodes agree that the transaction take place. So not just one party, several parties within the blockchain network actually do agree that the transaction has occurred. And this agreement is crucial because different participants or nodes, they call nodes in the blockchain, actually contain the same information. So in a sense, consensus is a way to ensure that the system is foolproof. All right, there's no which whatever transaction that they make is actually double confirmed, triple confirmed. Okay. Now, cryptocurrency, okay, this simplest word refers to the currency, okay, that depends on a backbone of cryptography. Okay, so the cryptocurrency only exists because of cryptography of the underlying cryptocurrency. So, like typically, like example, Bitcoin being the first of its kind, leverages on the cryptography to verify transactions. So, cryptocurrencies are the virtual currencies that exist because of cryptography. And what is cryptography exactly? It's the process where coders, programmers, they use encoding and decoding information to basically uh, create the infrastructure for the cryptocurrency to exist. So a lot of coding and uncoding exists in cryptography. Okay, so this is the basically the language and the science behind all the cryptocurrencies. Now, attack, DDoS, in is a short form for distributed denial of service. Distributed denial of service basically means like a hanging of the computer. When you use your laptops and then it suddenly hangs, something like that. So it happens when multiple parties, in fact, in general, when DDoS occurs, it's large number of parties working together and they basically flood the system, okay, with a lot of activities, and they overwhelm the system, and with lots of like useless requests and information and malicious data until the system is overwhelmed and unable to handle. Yeah, so typically DDoS attacks from parties that are looking to seize and cripple or manipulate the system for their own purpose. Okay, most of the time is to steal cryptocurrencies from accounts. All right, so that's a DDoS attack. Next, we talk about the whole idea of distributed ledger. So distributed ledger is a system of recording information that are simply distributed or spread across several devices, several geographical locations. That makes it what we term as decentralized, okay, distributed ledger. So everything actually is distributed across several locations, okay, so that the information is not stored in just one location. Now, another term commonly mentioned, especially for I think companies like Ripple, it's escrow. Escrow is actually a legal term. It refers to a third party. It can be a law firm or anybody, a third party that's holding on to financial resources on behalf of the participating parties. So the third party actually holds it and is neutral, is objective, and it follows a certain instructions as to how to handle the financial resources. So in this case, escrow can refer to managing of the cryptocurrencies of a particular company or a particular setup. Okay, now, fiat currencies. So, fiat currencies are what we have been using since awareness. So, fiat referring to US dollars, um, for example, like the euros, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, Chinese yuan. All these are fiat currencies, so created by governments, central banks in across different countries. All right, fiat currencies. That's what it is. Exchanges. So exchanges refer to places where people, like the term says, exchange. So there is an exchange of goods and different value. So in the cryptosphere, exchanges typically refer to exchange between different forms of digital currencies, and sometimes exchanges also allow you to exchange critical digital currencies with fiat currencies. So some exchanges that we know only allow exchange between different cryptocurrencies and using Bitcoin as the base currency. So you have to inject Bitcoin before you can purchase other cryptocurrencies. But there are more and more other exchanges out there that allow you to exchange fiat currencies like US dollar, euros for the various cryptocurrencies out there. So there are options. Then we move on to more interesting terms. Okay, very very new terms of the 2020s. Okay, so FOMO is one of the very commonly used, especially back in 2017. Okay, beginning of 2017, where we experienced one of the greatest bull runs in cryptocurrencies. The FOMO refers to fear of missing out. So people typically use FOMO when either the prices are skyrocketing or plunging and a lot of movements, and it triggers people to be nervous and they want to participate and they're afraid that they are missing out on the boat. So fear of missing out, FOMO, typically refers to like a bit of irrational dangers in actions that traders or investors take, especially the retail investors. Okay, plunging in without doing the research, and this is not highly not recommended. You should do your due diligence before you do take your actions. All right. So FOMO typically happens. When FOMO happens, you know that the market is in a frenzy. Okay. Now the next term is fork. This fork, like the fork that you use for meals, refers to a split. So just like how the fork in the road, right? There's a split. So a fork in cryptocurrency terms, there can be a hard fork or a soft fork. So hard fork typically involves the a more abrupt, like the name suggests, a more sudden and more abrupt split, whereas a soft fork probably takes a slower approach in this. Typically changes the digital currencies protocol, the backbone of the any cryptocurrency undergoing the fork, and it makes blocks. Okay, creates the blocks using the old protocol, and it becomes incompatible with the new chain. And next thing we move on to FUD. FUD is a short form, FUD. What's FUD? It stands for three things that investors actually experience, or traders experience, the retail investors, when the market is basically in a bad shape. Okay, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This typically is accompanied with a decline in the asset price, and also people are wondering what to do, and then a lot of negative news is spiraling out of control on the internet, on YouTube, on the mainstream media. That's when people take action out of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So next we move on to hard fork in particular. Just now we mentioned it. Hard fork is actually a permanent change to the digital currencies protocol or its rules. Hard forks is actually occurred several times over the past decade. So you can see things like Bitcoin Cash, as an example, like different forms of hard forks have occurred, and that causes significant changes to the people who are holding on to the cryptocurrencies as well as the price sometimes. Okay, um, the old chain can survive due to the scenario whereby both the old and new blockchains can continue, but the details depending on each hard fork that occurs. Okay, so next we move on to the idea of hodl or hodl, as some will say. Uh, this is a short form for HODL, which stands for hold on for dear life. Why hold on for dear life? Because um, this acronym came off from a time whereby the prices of assets plummeting, and then the diehard, cryptocurrency supporters are feeling a sense of great confidence in the future development of the fintech sphere. So they believe that they should hold on to the asset no matter what the price is, because of the underlying future confidence in the asset performance. So hold on for dear life typically refers to people who are going to buy and then hold on to their asset and never sell, regardless of how the market condition is, because they feel that in the distant future the prices will skyrocket to beyond epic proportions. So that's hodl for you. The next term actually is getting less and less common nowadays because of the legal clampdown and regulations being more clear now, and especially between recent developments, in the US, CFTCs, and China, Korea, all around the world, Middle East, the regulations are becoming clearer and clearer as to the stance that they will take towards this initial coin offering. So initial coin offering sounds similar like the share offerings, right? Public offering. So when a share is listed on the exchange, in a traditional exchange, they will call it a public offering because they're offering the shares out for public to invest, and in return, the company will get the funds, for their operations. So initial coin offering is referring to the cryptocurrencies during their launch. They're offering the cryptocurrencies to the public, and in return, the public will pay the price. So initial coin offering has been is past their heydays. Those days earlier, between maybe 2013 right up to 2017, it was a peak of ICOs, so to speak, and then it went down after legal clampdowns from various countries, sorry, and so ICOs are probably going to dwindle, according to many experts, in the financial industry, saying because thanks to regulation, and ICOs may eventually become a term of the past. Okay, unlike the IPOs. Okay, so next we move on to some of the traditional financial terms like KYC. Okay, so like for a financial institution like a bank, or a hedge fund, they will have requirements in countries to have this KYC. So KYC stands for Know Your Customer. So the financial institutions are required to have Know Your Customer protocols on routines, probably to make the customers fill up forms and questionnaires and surveys, so that they understand the profile of the customers and know where they come from, the sources of the income, where the money is, so to ensure that there are no dirty business going on with the customer. So know your customer, KYC, is a technical term that financial institutions actually employ, okay, to safeguard their customer base. So next is a long position. Long position basically refers to buying, like when the person is buying into a cryptocurrency, it's called long. So long position refers to the person having bought the asset. Okay, and then the next term, market cap. So market cap refers to basically a size of the underlying asset. So a market cap that is big, all right, will typically be measured in millions and sometimes billions. Like in the case of the top three cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Tether. These are a few that can reach market capitalization of like probably in order of tens of billions or hundreds of billions or even trillions, some according to the price. So market cap is market capitalization. So we typically look at that as an indication of the size or market share of that particular cryptocurrency in the whole cryptosphere. Okay, next we have this term called mining. Okay, mining actually originates because of Bitcoin, and the process of creating Bitcoin is called mining. So the Bitcoin network releases new Bitcoins every time a block is mined. So people who mine for Bitcoins typically have to set up their own hardware, computing abilities, and then from there the transactions will be helping to confirm transactions and combining them into blocks actually earns the person bitcoins. So that's mining. Now, mining incentive is typically the incentive reward that miners will get for helping to process and being a station for verifying transactions and mining the transactions into blocks. So, in return, the network will reward them with a portion of the cryptocurrencies because mining requires a lot of heavy intensive hardware and electricity use and consumption. So miners are rewarded with the cryptocurrencies. The next term that we look at is moon. Okay, moon or mooning, mooning like a verb. Okay, when it's here, moon means that typically the price of the crypto asset is flying high and increase. And typically, moon refers to a big increase, maybe like 10%, 20%, sometimes even 100%. It depends on what asset you're looking at. All right. So next we look at some more light-hearted terms like noob. So noobs are newbies. Okay. Uh, typically noobs, they are newbies. They are newer to the cryptosphere, so we call it noob, like in gaming terms, noob, right? Okay. Next, we go on to POW. That's proof of work. Now, proof of work is a system of proving that the cryptocurrency transaction actually is verified. So many digital currencies, including the first one, Bitcoin, actually use proof of work. And then the miners will have to do the work. So the miners actually do the work of verifying the transaction. So the more miners out there, actually, the more verified it is. So proof of work, that's the concept. Now, another alternative to proof of work is actually proof of stake. So proof of stake refers to confirming transactions, but this is frequent verifications, okay, by providing the digital tokens upfront, and then the miners selected based on how many units they have, their stake. So they have a more stake in the network, more currencies, then you have greater stake in it. Then those people who confirm the transactions are called forgers instead of miners. So the forgers that confirm the transactions receive transaction fees for whatever they have done. So that is in the form of cryptocurrency. So this proof of stake. Okay. The next thing that we actually here is private key. So private key is like a long string of numbers and letters, alphanumerics, to safeguard the investor, so that only the person with the right private key, long string of numbers and letters, can verify and gain access to the digital currencies. This is for like a password. Okay. Next is the public key. So what's the difference between private key and public key? Private key is held by the person who owns the cryptocurrency. It's like a password. Public key is an address, like an email address. So you give the public key to people so that they can send you cryptocurrencies. Now, pump and dump. So pump and dump over the past 5 years have been a popular word because pump and dump typically refers to if somebody, okay, actually injects a lot of the funds to push the price up so that you attract retail investors to come in and purchase, and then pushing the price up even further. And then the underlying people who do the pump and dump will profit by dumping their assets on these retail investors who are unaware, and then the pump and dump corporate actually makes a profit out of attracting retail investors to further push up the price. So they make the difference in pricing. So it's an investment scheme where basically the goal of it is to make use of the market forces to help them make money. So pump and dump is actually a scheme that get a lot of people losing money. Okay, because the retail investors are unaware, they rush in thinking that the price will be maintained up, but actually no, the price went down sharply because the pump and dump corporate will actually offload the currencies on them. Okay, so that's pump and dump for you. Next is wreck. Okay, the spelling is a bit weird, but it's slang for wrecked. That means someone who has lost a lot of money in the market. ROI, traditional investors will know this, return on investment. So let's say if you put $1,000 to buy Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin prices doubled, and then you sold it, you made $2,000. So you made a 100% return on your $1,000. So 1,000 becomes 2,000. So that's your return on investment. Okay. So the next is actually a person's name. Till this date, no one actually knows who this person is, or some even say that what it can be a representative of a group of programmers. Nobody knows. It can be a male or female. Nobody knows. Okay, so Satoshi Nakamoto is the name that is associated with the origin of Bitcoin. In fact, he's the very first name associated with any form of cryptocurrency, cryptosphere, blockchain idea. So Satoshi Nakamoto is unknown. Nobody knows the identity, but that is in the history books. Okay, if you want to dive into blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So next, short and shorting is the opposite of long and long position longing. So short means you want to sell an asset, selling basically. Token. So tokens are actually digital currencies. We call them a token or digital currency because in actual fact, some people don't acknowledge the term as currency because they don't believe that they are currencies. But in actual fact, they are tokens. So in every blockchain network, if they were to create associated benefit, right, usually it is linked to the token itself. So frequently refer to it as the utility token. As to what the utility is, how they are going to use the token, is it going to use like cash, or is it going to use the token as a form of confirmation or just a form of security? Nobody knows. So that's the idea of token, the underlying asset, the link to the blockchain network. Okay, next term is whale. Now, whale actually is a big time investor. So a trader that use a sizable bet. So when whales are used, the term whale refers to when the person purchases large amounts or sells large amounts on the exchange to the extent that it influences the prices significantly or trigger a sharp change in the price. Okay, if they are able to execute large transactions, potentially they can potentially manipulate the market as well. Okay, that's why the word whale, and also because when the whale plunges into the sea, you can expect big waves. Similar to this, the big traders can make big waves in the market, just like a whale does. And then we move on to the very last one, which is white paper. So white paper is actually a concept paper. So typically providing the a platform. So the developers who create new digital currencies need to provide a white paper for the new innovative assets so that they can explain to the general public who are not technically trained, right, to understand when they read the white paper what is this underlying assets or cryptocurrency supposed to do, what's that utility, what problem are they going to solve, and then usually contains comprehensive information on the future and the design of the token, the digital token, and the underlying technology, what problem does it aim to solve. So a white paper is what people will read if they do the due diligence to research properly. So typically people who in the early days of the ICO will read a lot of white papers before they decide whether, is it good to buy this whichever coin, like banana coin, watermelon coin, or coconut coin, they have to do that research. So that sums up all the terms that I wish to share with you guys today. hopefully for you newbies out there, it refreshes. It gives you some perspective of like what are some of the jargon used, in the crypto sphere, and makes it less mind-boggling for you. And for the seasoned traders and investors, I hope that this brings some form of entertainment for you. And as usual, a disclaimer, I'm in no way any form of financial advisor. So all the information shared today is for entertainment purposes only. And should you wish to eventually invest in your own cryptocurrencies, highly encourage you to own a hardware core wallet, okay, offline, so that you can store your cryptocurrencies that you invest, with your hard-earned money, and store it safe away from hacking activities. Okay, you can take a look at the various hardware wallets that I have shared with you in the links below. Trezor is one of them. Ledger Nano is another one. Very good, secure, hardware wallet which I use myself. Um, no, you feel free to just consider your own choices, but this is just some of the ones that I personally use and trust. So if you like what I shared in the video and want me to share on further content, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, okay, turn on notifications so that you can receive the latest video that I post, and also comment below on any potential topics that you wish for me to share. So here's the International Crypto Asset Ninja signing off. So have a good day. Bye.